Hey there folks, got a new knife for you. What I have here is the Benchmade Morpho, the Benchmade 51 Morpho. This one I purchased from Blade HQ. This is a recent run they did. This one is a customized Morpho with which has been replaced with this titanium handles, this customized titanium handles. The person that did the customization is a gentleman named FlyTanium. I've never heard of him. He recently popped up on Instagram a few days before these were made available in Blade HQ. So you guys draw your own conclusions. But what I'm gonna say is the work is pretty superb. I gotta admit. So if you guys know the Benchmade Morpho, the original ones come with this G10 handles. Right, it's got this blue titanium liners, so that's maintained. They basically keep that on this this FlyTanium. The original Morpho is, give you some specs on it. It's titanium liners, G10 handles. It's got spring latch, which is pretty neat. It is pretty lightweight. It's got this drop point blade. Everything is basically remains the same. The only thing that they replaced is the handle scales. Some of the complaints of like flipper aficionados out there, like the Bandit, he doesn't like the Benchmade 51 because he feels it's a little light. It is light at 3.3 ounces. The Bandit is definitely more of a Bally flipper than me, and he likes it with a little more weight. So what FlyTanium did is he replaced this black G10 handles and you replace it with titanium, this custom titanium. And if you guys are Benchmade fanatics, you know that this is very similar to the Benchmade 42 in design, handle wise anyway, scale wise. Of course, the 42 is just one piece of titanium slab on each side. You know, this one it still has the titanium liner. By replacing the handles, that brings this to a weight of 4.52 ounces. So it definitely gives it a little more weight. It brings it closer to the weight of the Benchmade 42, which came in at 4.1 ounce. And when I say it looks, if you guys look at this, you Benchmade guys, you know that this is very similar to the 42 in design. It's got this milled holes, right? It's got the milled smaller holes, but the difference is, on the 42 has 6 holes. This one only has 5. And instead of these 2 holes right here on the handles, they go horizontal on the Benchmade 42. Over here they go vertical. And because they went vertical, I guess they couldn't put more holes in it. And again, the liners are like this jeweled blue tie or engine turning liners. And they basically kept that underneath and they expose it through these holes. So pretty neat. I think it's pretty neat. Again, the spring latch works nicely. Let me flip it open. This one has Zen pins for the Morpho guys. I personally, I don't know if it makes a big difference, but me personally, I like the Zen pins construction instead of the tang pins. And when I'm talking about Zen pins, you see how the blade doesn't have a pin over here and a pin over there? Most Ballys have pins over there and pins over there where the handles, you know, smack into. This one has Zen pins here, here, and here, where the blade tang is milled out to accommodate, and that's basically what stops it from hitting the handles. So I prefer the Zen pins. I do. Some guys, you know, some guys have preferences. Maybe they prefer the tang, but I do prefer this. But let's just check out the work by FlyTanium. So, get a close-up look at it. I went with the Stonewash. They were available in 2. You could get them in the blasted satin handles. I went with the Stonewash. So it's a beautiful Stonewash. And you can see that the holes are milled out pretty precise. I mean, not big gaps in between the torque screws and the holes. So it's pretty tight construction. I can't complain. The holes are milled out nicely. And there are some complaints, and you guys might see it already, that I have about it in the construction of the holes. The holes are the same size throughout. But if you look, you'll see that the titanium, the jeweled blue titanium underneath, you can see that there's gaps that are exposed by these holes. Now, that's not anything to do with the handles or workmanship of FlyTanium, any of this. I think that's just the way the titanium was designed on the original Morpho. The difference is the holes expose it more. You can see the gaps, right? You even see, I don't know if that's screws. Why is that? Because on the original Morpho, it doesn't have holes. It has this this vertical milled out section which exposes the liners, right? But if you look at it on the original one, it's a little wider up here and it tapers down. So I'm sure the liners are the same as this one, except having these big gigantic holes exposes that the titanium liners are tapered also to accommodate this. Yeah, so if you look at it, actually I saw it, it was exposed. Thought I saw it. Well, anyways, so it's not like FlyTanium screwed up and messed up the liners. That's just the design of the original liners on this Benchmade Morpho with the G10. So if I had little complaints, is that, you know, that I mean, the hole, I do like the holes, but the liners have it exposes some of the deficiencies in the design, the original design. I mean, it's not a deficiency. The design was made to taper out, so it wasn't exposed. But here you can see. So maybe FlyTanium's going to do another run. They're sold out. I don't know if they're going to do another run of Blade HQ. Maybe he can address that. I don't know. Do another whole design so it won't expose that. I'm sure he saw that when he was making it. So, but other than that, it's a pretty good flipper. I tried to flip it. I did cut myself. It did bite me, so it's now mine forever. But I definitely want to show this to the boys. Definitely the Bandit. He's very interested. Again, the weight, it brings the weight from 3.3 ounces to 4.52, which is definitely more comparable to the Benchmade 42 at 4.1. The Blade Runner Systems Alpha Beast actually weighs in at 5.1. So the Alpha Beast, Brian, Fast Bandit, it's actually heavier than this. So you might actually like this. Brian has the Benchmade 42. I think he loves that flipper. So, as you guys know, if you follow me for a while, you know what kicked it off for me as a knife collector was definitely the Bally, the butterfly knife. That's where my love began. I actually started collecting them first. I still haven't stopped collecting them. Of course, I've become a flipper guy as of late. But pretty good stuff. I am impressed with it. The design, you can see there's like a little groove here. I don't know if that's for grip, I guess. Let's see. I did notice one other thing. Maybe I can show. Oh, that's what it is. So it's you can see that the titanium where the latch sits, you can see that the milling is out there. And if I had to nitpick, the titanium slabs don't exactly match where the blue liners were. Let me see. Before I criticize this guy, maybe that's just the way it is. Hey, you know what? It looks like that's the original design. Looks like the G10 is not exactly matched, lined up with the liner. Slightly off. So I take that back. I take it back. It's fine. So it's got these weights over here to make it flip, which came in the original design, but because of the titanium slabs, it definitely definitely flips a little better. Got a little more weight for flipping. It did come the screws were not Loctited. Now, I don't know if from Benchmade, I don't think they come Loctite in Benchmade either. And the reason is because if you're a ballad guy, you know you want to adjust it where it has that sweet spot when you're flipping it. I like my bally's about here. My tolerance is about here, where this doesn't pass here, and vice versa. So this does not pass here. I think Brian likes it a little tighter. This play for me is fine for flipping. And if you look at the original Morpho, that's where it's about, see? So the weight of the titanium didn't do any real changes to it. So yeah, so pretty impressive. They didn't do anything to the blade, it's just the original blade. They did have a black blade available. I mean, they're all sold out now. I don't know if they're going to do it again, if they're going to be another run. Maybe they're just testing the water to see the popularity. I forgot exactly how much I paid. It was like 3 something, I believe. 3 something. So it was a little more expensive than the original Morpho. But you do get the original scales along with it. So if if you want to switch it back, you can definitely switch it back to the original G10 scales. Alright guys, I think I pretty much covered everything. Yeah. Alright guys. Peace.